Hey friends, it's Elizabeth here from the Everyday Storyteller, and I am back with week 2 of my project life. Alright, so as you can see, I'm still working in my 6x12 album, and this particular week I have a lot of photos. So I'm actually going to only be using this pocket page card from the Open Story Kit by Ali Edwards. It has a lot of colors on it, and I just really love how it kind of ties together the whole spread. Right, so for my journaling, since I don't have a lot of space for journaling here on this spread, I'm actually going to add an insert into the middle right here. This is sized at 4x8, and this pattern is from the Open Story Kit. I believe it was originally sized at 7x8, so it fit into your album outside of the page protector. So this is going to be the base of my journaling page, and I used the digital version of this card. This is from the January 2023 Stories by the Month kit, labeled 1, 2, and 3, and I used the digital versions of this to create these tags. So I created these tags in Photoshop using the template from that card. I just added the 04. This is the same font and style as the stamp set for the 2023 Stories by the Month kit. So I just went ahead and added the 4 right there. And now I have 4 tags for my journaling that I'm going to add on top of this pattern paper. Roundabout like so. Might pop them up with some foam adhesive. So that is my journaling. And now I just need to figure out what I want to add to this photo heavy spread to kind of break things up, and also to add my numbers in so they correlate to my journaling. So I loved the tags that I had going already, so I actually took some vellum, colored vellum that I had in my stash. I will try to have the link below, but they had a bunch of different pastel colors: pink, blue, green, yellow, and red as well. And I cut them into small tag shapes, and I think I'm going to add these to the photos that correlate with my journaling. All right, so we are going to dive right in and see how this works. I forgot to mention that I also have these acetate numbers. These are from my stash. I believe these are from a very, very old Week in the Life set, but I picked out 1 through 4, and my plan is to layer them on top of my my colored vellum. And I think that will kind of pull the entire spread together. So after some theorizing, I actually decided to cut out small white tags to go on top of my vellum tags, just to make the colors pop a little bit. So I'm just going to be using my handy paper piercer, and I'm going to poke a really small hole in the white paper, and then I'm going to get my brad through it. So I'm adhering the acetate numbers with my tiny attacher, like so. And then I'm just kind of placing them on my photo. One of the advantages of having the white background on the vellum means that I can adhere these to the photo a lot easier. Regular adhesive definitely shows through this vellum, so having it on the white background means it's a little bit easier to get these stuck down properly without actually being able to see the adhesive through the vellum. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I feel like the spread needs a little bit more grounding. So I'm reaching for some of my word phrase stickers, and I'm hoping to add some black. Got some gray, which I guess worked with the black and white photo, but I really do want black. So these are all old word phrase stickers that I've gotten from various kits, both Ali Edwards and beyond. You see I have 3 Studio Calico ones. So I know I have this one, and this one that's black. I think that might be it. Oh, and I also have this one that's clear, but I don't really want clear. All right. I don't know. I think this was from the Type story kit. Yeah, it seems like it. Okay. My plan was to add them to the vellum tags. We'll see if I can manage. We'll see if I can manage the black. Let's see. I do like actually some of the sentiments on here. I think I can make it work. So let's do this. So this one, it says this story. That is not at all straight, is it? Nope. Thankfully these are fairly old, so I can take them off if I need to. Not perfect, but it's fine. All right, so that one says this story. Actually really love the words have power for this particular photo because that's kind of what the book is all about. So that's kind of a fitting sentiment. My journaling actually is not about the book, but since it's on the photo, it makes a good little addition to this little embellishment cluster. Alright, so I am back in my embellishment pack, and I have a couple of other circles to add to this one, but none of the sentiments really fit this photo. So I realized afterward that I hadn't reserved a place for my date. So I went ahead and scrapped the green tag that said here for this, that I wanted to put on that 3x4 card, and I am instead going to stamp out my dates on this piece of red vellum with some StazOn ink. So I am using some stamps from the January 2023 Stories by the Month physical kit. It included the January label and also those wee tiny little numbers that I used to stamp out my week dates. At first I was going to cut this vellum into a tag shape, but it just didn't look right on top of all of those quotes. So I'm actually going to trim it off a tiny bit and just make it kind of like a label sticker. And the last thing that I'm going to add to that date label is actually another one of those mini brads, just to continue on the trend. I'm also backing it with some white paper, and then I'm just going to use my regular Tombow mono adhesive to add that onto my 3x4 card and call that one done. The next thing I'm going to move on to is adhering those vellum circles to my photos. I'm doing that with my Tim Holtz tiny attacher. I am adding one of the green circles to that top photo of my daughter and my husband doing homework, and then the orange one to the photo of my daughter. I decided not to create my own embellishments and just go with the ones that I had in the variety pack, and I'm pretty happy with it. Simple was definitely the name of the game as this layout came to a close. And to finish things off, I am going to add my journaling spots to my insert. As you can see, I am just using my We Are Our Memory Keepers punch to punch out holes in the top of each one of those tags. And then I'm going to add a mini brad to each one of those. Again, these are not working brads, they're just for show, but I do think they add a lot of cohesion to the spread since I did use those for the vellum tags as well. And once I'm done adding all of those brads to my tags, I'm going to pop them up onto some foam adhesive and use that to adhere each tag to the background of my insert. So that is pretty much this layout completed. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you join me for next week in my Project Life album. Until then, thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye.